Very happy to be with all of you. Let me share just three stories, three short stories of thrill, adventure, and discovery. We do that at Desi. Desi is the Center for Design and Innovation for Social Entrepreneurship, which we have at Christ University. And students from different streams, they come after the college hours. No attendance is taken, no marks are given, and no certificates are doled out. But they are all in a quest to find out something new, meaningful, and which has lasting impact. I am a teacher of English, but there is a very specific reason why I took this path of grassroots innovation. Because I was teaching at a village, a very remote village in Maharashtra, in the region of Vidarbha. And if you know, it has the highest number of farmer suicides. I would see little children in the slums deprived of everything. And I was asking this question to myself. I might teach English for another 15 years, but how will I make a tangible impact on the life of at least one such child? And that took me to the path of innovations. And that's why Desi is actually a fruition of that little dream and desire. Desi, where now 220 students have registered for it yesterday, 220 students registered for it. And I asked them to have keen power of observation. And I also asked them to work with a keen sense of sympathy. And now the three stories. We were walking near the football ground, and this is Mallika Arjun. And my eyes fell on this person. He was marking the football field. And I found out that he was bending at every step. And then I told my students, let's do something. We'll wait and watch till Mallikarjun finishes doing this entire thing. And we'll do one more thing. Let's count the number of times he has to bend as he marks the football field. And then we had to wait, and we had to count and count. It took 1 hour 35 minutes for him to complete marking the football field. And in that duration, he had to bend 600 times. We went and spoke to him. Then we came to know that he has to do this every third or fourth day because, it rains in Bangalore and wipes off the lines. And he has been working there for 9 long years. And someone had to observe and someone had to be empathetic. And I challenged the students. I told them, I'll give you 3,000 rupees and I'll give you 3 days. Can you bring a smile on Mallikarjun's face? And thankfully, we have brilliant students who are always ready to take up a challenge. The next morning, Chirag, this is the student leader of Desi at that time, he called me up and said, sir, I've tried to make a contraption, and he comes with this half plastic football, half plastic bottle, attached to it a wooden strap with wheels, and he was trying to understand the concept, and he looked satisfied. And then the entire team got working, and in 2 days, this is what they gave to Mallikarjun. Right. All made from junkyard, costing only 650 rupees. But then we had made a difference in the life of Mallikarjun. And now whenever Mallikarjun meets me, he gives a big salute with a big smile on his face. Because from 600 times of bending, it became 0. And the entire work happens in just 6.5 minutes. We had touched Mallikarjun's life. Story number 2. I was traveling from Bangalore to Kerala. My bus was at 12 in the night. In a place called Madiwala. And I'm a big tea addict. I was always in North India and I like the ginger elaichi chai. I hope many of you like it. And I wanted to have a cup of tea before boarding the bus at 12 in the night. And I found this person selling tea. He's a wandering tea vendor. I don't know in Chandigarh whether we have people who walk around and sell tea. Do you have it? I'm not sure. But this guy was there, so I went and bought a cup of tea, but I was disappointed. And because it was too sugary, too watery, and then when I started my conversation with him, he told me that he's actually a tailor by the day. And then he stays 8 kilometers away, and every day he prepares this tea, takes a bus to come to this main bus stop, sells tea, and then goes back at 3 in the night. And as I boarded the bus, I started thinking that here is a person who wants to add income to his family, but he doesn't have any product standardization. There is no brand visibility. And even the flask hygiene is suspect. We don't know whether he really cleans it with hot water because it's a milk product. And then once I returned back from Kerala, we went to Desi. I got back to the drawing board with my students. And I'm very happy to tell you that this is our second pilot. We launched a brand called UBT. That is for branding the roadside tea vendors. It's called Street Tea Redefined. And we always love to try out new things. As I said, it's a story of thrill, adventure, and discovery. And I bought some second-hand bicycles and I painted it like this. And now if someone is going to walk around with this, it's going to be identified. And for 3.5 months, so I have a lab at home, only the spelling of the lab is different. It is just KITCHEN. So, yeah, that is enough for you to do all the major experiments. So I standardized this ginger elaichi chai, and now what we do is, the business model is that we take the kitchens of these women from the lower economic strata on rent. We gave them all the equipments and raw material, and these women prepare the tea, and they are called the UB partners. And then it is sold out in cycles by the buddies. And the pilot is giving very good results. And just the fun fact is that before I really launched all this, I wanted to do the beta testing myself. And so last October, 3 months, I was selling tea on the footpath, just to get a first-hand idea of what it feels to sell tea on the footpath. Thank you very much. And it was a surprise for me that the first 5 days itself, I made 5,000 rupees selling tea for just 2 hours each day. It's a good profession. I might even switch over. Right, but I didn't do it in front of my college because I thought if my VC sees it, he'll say, you look very good there, just continue there. But the beautiful part of it is that now a lot of women in the urban areas will have more incomes, and the buddies will earn income without having to have all the hassles of making the tea, so on and so forth. And we developed, at Desi, we also developed what is called the Purple Parity Pledge. Now, purple is a color symbolizing empowerment and equity. Now, if you were to buy a cup of chai from us, there is this stamp of Purple Parity Pledge with a QR code on it. And while having the tea, if you would just scan it, it would show the lady who prepared the tea. For example, Sumati made your tea today. Jubina made your tea today. It is so much of empowering and really creating an identity for these women whose names you would never know. So that is Purple Parity Pledge for us. And now my story number 3. This happened on 3rd of October 2017. I was walking in the campus of Christ University, and my eyes fell on these fallen coconut leaves. And just one day before, a gentleman had come to me, and we started talking about how single-use plastic straws are such a scourge to the environment, how it is polluting the environment, marine life is getting destroyed. And as I saw these fallen coconut leaves, I hope you have not forgotten the lesson of observation. It's so important, right? And then I thought, why can't we make straws out of these strips? And then I took it back to my lab, my lab, and I started doing all sorts of experiments. And one morning I was steaming it like you steam idlis, and a nice shine came on the surface. Then I we discovered that the dried coconut leaf, which is burnt everywhere, it leads to carbon dioxide emission. It has its own natural wax, and which is very safe, which is phenolic compounds. And the paper straws we get in all the major beverage chains, they're actually dipped in artificial wax. Here was an agri-waste which had such beautiful property. And I started my experiments. Long story short, I created the world's first drinking straws made from fallen coconut leaves. And we got the fastest patent granted for it in India. And then at this point of time, Chirag, the boy who made the field marker, in the meantime, he had gone to the UK and he did space engineering. He has a patent granted on a satellite design which he has done. But when he came back, he called me up and said, sir, what are you up to? I said, I just made these straws, and I think if I make small machines to roll out these straws, we can deploy these machines in the villages, we can employ women, and we can sell the straws everywhere. And Chirag, who had a job offer from Germany, refused to take that job offer and decided to join me. I'm very proud to tell you that Chirag is now the CEO of our startup, which is co-founded by us, and he heads innovation management. And then another student named Sandeep, who is actually an economics major, also said, sir, I'll not go for any job. Let me also join the company. He is the head of training, operations, and production at Sunbird Straws. That's what our company is. And this year, a girl named Anna, she also decided not to go for any job and joined us. So these are brave stories of Chirag, Sandeep, and Anna, right? And earlier, the tabletop machines, it took 45 seconds to make one straw. And then we were getting very good orders from different places. And then Chirag, Jobin, and Anup, they are the 3 technology people. They have now developed this conveyor system all on our own. We got the second patent granted last month. And now the women can make the straw, one straw every 2 seconds. We have 5 production centers and 107 women are employed just with one small innovation of a tube. And this is what the patent that we granted. This is our unit in Tuticorin. We started with 12 women. Now, last week we appointed 25 women who work with us, and no one leaves our company. For the past 3 years, all these 107 women continue to work with us. And I'm always proud to show this. This humble looking straw made in a village was used at a very elite wedding in Italy. And now the distributor of these, the distributor who bought it wants 2.6 million straws every quarter. So that's the opportunity we have to create employment opportunities in India. You know, I always say life is a box of chocolates. You will never know what you're gonna get. And I always enjoy these little chocolates that we get because the real journey is really difficult. And the Deputy Commissioner of Nicobar Islands invited us saying that Nicobar Islands is full of coconut forest, why don't you come? So I got this opportunity. I was very happy that I could get into a helicopter. I was never in a helicopter before. So that was my happiness. And we met the Nicobari tribals. And now we'll be starting the production centers in Nicobar Islands. So that is the opportunity that we got. And this was, again, another chocolate I got. I got a call from Asucham saying that you have a beautiful product. The world should know that you have a product. And they invited me to be the part of the former Honorable President of India's business delegation to Philippines. So I went with the Honorable President to Philippines. I could speak at the ASEAN-India Business Summit. And now many people in Philippines are interested to take our technology. And this letter on the right, I'm very proud to tell you that this is actually a thank you letter from the University of Pennsylvania. And I'm very proud to say that our straws were asked by them, and it is kept at the prestigious Fisher's Material Resource Library at the University of Pennsylvania. And we always look west for great research to happen, and then we follow them. It's high time that you brilliant minds sitting here, you come up with great solutions for the wickedest problems that our world is facing, and let the world come to you for solutions. And that is my great hope when I started Desi. And are the proud moments when Chirag, the student, he recently won the Youth Ecopreneur Award, awarded by the International Trade Center from the United Nations. And this is the joy of a teacher when he sees her student taking an award at an international platform. And then very soon, that next month, we won a prestigious award called the Mass Challenge Switzerland Award. And we flew to Switzerland. There were 125 teams from 35 countries. We were the awardees of Mass Challenge. Sandeep and Chirag sharing an international platform and getting an international awards. And then I want to also tell you that have the courage to just take a plunge into any kind of research. Don't have any boundaries. So this is a plant which was shown to me saying, can you do something about it? It is called pandanus leaf. And then again, I knew that we had this plant at our university in the campus. So I went and brought it. And then again, I started working in my lab. You know my lab again. And I was able to extract this cuticle from this plant. And this is a process, and this patent got published last month. And it is highly water resistant. And I could make amazing tubes and straws out of this. This stays in beverage for 100 hours. And then a dentist from Australia is interested to use these tubes for his surgical procedures. So we'll never know what we can discover. And these are the pens. I'm very happy to tell you that Sandeep, who is an economics student, developed writing pens from coconut leaves. And this is a girl in Germany who uses our pens. And last month we had our greatest moment when United Nations placed an order with us for these pens and straws. So this was a great moment for us. They wanted it for an ambassadors meet. And the ambassadors were all smiles. They sent this picture. They were very amazed to see these pens which are made entirely out of a leaf. And now they have made us their official vendors. They have added us to their vendor list. This was a great achievement for something starting as small as Desi. Now, when the students who come to Desi, they think that they are going to discover possibilities all around them. For example, someone wanted to know how they could discover how the leaves can be made into straws, or for that matter, how they could discover to sell chai in a better way. But what I want to tell you is that in this entire journey, what eventually ends up is that these students discover the hidden potentials within themselves. They then learn to tap the untapped capacities of greatness and goodness. And when they start doing this, they start spreading more and more smiles along the way. For me, Sandeep, Chirag, and Anna are the real heroes of the great, exciting stories of thrill, adventure, and discovery that we are doing at Desi. Thank you very much.